You see, phrasal verbs are a key part of English language, especially when discussing specialized topics like compliance. With these verbs, your compliance lingo will soon sound like a prose. Ready to dive in? Let's kick off with adhere to. This means to follow or stick to guidelines or rules. For instance, make sure to adhere to all the compliance guidelines. It's like sticking a post-it note to your fridge. It's there, it's visible, and you're following what's written on it. Next, we have brush up on. Picture a brush sweeping away the dust, revealing a shiny, clean surface. That's what you're doing with your knowledge when you brush up on something. You're refreshing it, improving it. So when you brush up on the latest compliance regulations, you're ensuring your understanding is current and accurate. Moving on, phase in and phase out. Imagine a moon cycle. It phases in from a new moon to a full moon and then phases out back to a new moon. Similarly, when a company phases in new protocols, they're gradually introducing them. And when they phase out old procedures, they're gradually removing them. So, the company plans to phase out the old procedures and phase in the new compliance protocols. Let's look at double check. Think of it as looking twice or checking something again to ensure accuracy. So, always double check your work to ensure compliance with the standards. It's like proofreading your essay twice before submitting it. The next phrasal verb is sign off on. Imagine signing a document showing your approval. That's what it means to sign off on something. It's giving approval or confirmation. So, before proceeding, management needs to sign off on the compliance checklist. Finally, we have opt out of and roll out. To opt out of means to choose not to participate in something. It's like saying no to an extra slice of cake. So, ensure that you don't accidentally opt out of any necessary compliance requirements. Now, roll out is similar to unrolling a carpet, introducing it step by step. Hence, the new compliance policies will roll out next month. Remember, these phrasal verbs will not only make you sound more professional, but also help you understand compliance discussions better. That was quite a ride, wasn't it? Let's do a quick recap. We dived into adhere to, reminding us to stick to guidelines. We then brush up on, a must for keeping up with regulations. Phase in out, as we saw, helps us transition procedures. Double check, a critical step for quality assurance. Sign off on is final approval and opt out of, a decision to exclude. Lastly, roll out signals the introduction of new policies, and there you have it. Armed with these phrasal verbs, you're all set to engage in your next conversation about compliance. Until next time, keep practicing and keep learning.